To me, everything is family, right? When we talk about, everybody talks about financial wealth. I'm going to create a wealth chart. I want you to create a freedom chart. Okay? In February of this year, we took 13 people to Disney World. If you've ever been to Disney World and you get that Fast Pass, remember Fast Pass? Right? Well, we got the people that get you in front of Fast Pass. Have you guys ever had it? Well, David Gagnon has. So we had 13 people. We've got 2 people that came with us, and the dollar per hour you don't even want to know. In 3 days, my wife said, it was the most expensive vacation we've ever taken. And there were no meltdowns, right? A 15-year-old, 11-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and no meltdowns. That's what this is going to create for you. Now here's what I want you to think of. What's your dream? When we went there, and little Allie, the little redhead in there, with her brother Asher, she wants to be a princess. Okay? Would you go to Disney World and tell the 3-year-old she couldn't be a princess? Really? She danced all around the whole afternoon. And she would just stop and do that Frozen thing, right? So here's what I'm bringing with you today. I'm bringing you, you've seen a lot of how to do it or what to do or how to do it. But I want to give you a formula. I put them on everybody's chair. You need to fill this in. This is what you're going to need to be an unbelievable attractor in our company. It's different than selling homes. It's different than working with buyers and sellers. Here's the first thing you need. You've got to write it in. Persistence. Write it in. I'm giving you it right away, and then we're going to go over it. Action. By the way, next to action, put action is everything. What's the next one? Patience. Write it in. It's got to be in your handwriting. If it's not in your handwriting, you won't remember these. And the last one is how to learn how to ask for help. Now, when I did this, it spelled Papa. And then we were on vacation. I love Brian and Nicole. And Brian goes, "Oh, you could be Big Papa." I said, "Who's Big Papa?" Right? And it's so fun. I said, "That's perfect. We'll use that." And I'm going to go over each one of these. Now, the key to success is what? Everybody got it? What's the H? Habits. In every business book I've read in the last 10 years, I guarantee you all 4 of these are in there. But the success is creating great habits. Okay, let's go over each one of these. I want to take you through this. Persistence. It's the firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action, underline action, in spite of difficulty or opposition. Guess what? If you're first to market, bringing EXP first to market, do you think you have a little difficulty? Are you having a little opposition? Get over it. Because guess what? It's going to happen every time. All right? Hey, grit, not IQ. This ought to be really good for all of you. Me included. Right? Because entrepreneurs, 2/3 of the entrepreneurs, just so you know, are C or below. You know, they didn't graduate with straight A's. Why? Because you guys had, most of you had dyslexia or something. ADD or something. But it's firm. I want you to look. I looked at probably 15 TED Talks on persistence. I don't think you know what it means. When I look at Rob and Scott and Tracy and David, I think persistence. When I think of James and Brent, James Stroop, Brent Gove, I think of persistence more than anything else. It's the number one thing you have to be successful. Let's keep going here. What about action? Hey, people don't buy what you do, they do what? They buy why you do it. In Texas, we started with Elizabeth Riley and myself. We kind of crazy, Elizabeth and Jean. Hey, we'll just go do this thing. There's nobody in Texas. Do you think we had, what is that thing we have? KB Core? No, just kidding. But you know, all those things, you guys are getting confused on what you should sell. You should sell a dream. You should sell Disney World. You should sell you could be a princess. And you gotta tell people why you're doing it. Great leaders inspire others to take action. That's what you do. It's all about taking action. Let me show you why this happens. Here's where you go wrong. I'm going to give you a little hint. You guys, I talk to you all the time. You go, well, Gene, I'm going to show them all the stuff we have, all the tools. Look at all the cool stuff. What it's going to take to sell real estate. So you go about that. You guys got all kinds of stuff. Then you go, here's how you're going to do it. You don't understand. We got this, we got this, we got this. And you go through all this detail. I can't believe they don't want to come. We've got all this stuff. And the real reason people make a change in their lives is what? Here's what I want you to write down. TMAY. Tell me about yourself. I do it every time. Until I get a why from somebody I'm standing in front of, I don't go to the how or what. I just ask questions. And then here's where you go wrong too. Hey, why'd you join EXP? I never answer it. And you go, what do you mean you don't answer it? You got to tell them they asked. I said, no, it's like they're asking how the weather is. They say, why'd you join EXP? I said, that's a great question. I'll go into that later. What are you considering about EXP? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Are you going to move this week or next week? In fact, if you're a 5, I used it today, on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 meaning you're moving this week, 1 meaning you're never coming, where are you? And she said, I'm a 7. I said, well, what makes it a 10? Guess what she gave to me after that? The why. Okay? Just so you know, a movement was started, and by the way, Martin Luther King was not the only person trying to cure racial inequality in America, right? He got 250,000 people to show up on the mall in 1963, right? He didn't have the internet. He couldn't send out just a text, hey, meet me there. By the way, he didn't send out a text like this, I have a plan. I have a dream. Now the dream he projected became the 250,000 people's dream. That's what we're doing. Got it? Okay. Here's where you guys have major problems. The second P. You guys have no patience. Gene, I don't understand it. I've talked to him 5 times. I've seen him send the webinar 4 times. I've been to 3 lunch and learns with him. Oh my gosh, when are they gonna move? Right? There's a Covey quote from the Covey 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that old book that I read. I kept this quote in front of me 20 years ago. And it says, write it down, there's a gate of change. A gate of change. And no amount of great scripts, great phone dialogues, sales skills, all the stuff you give them can make the gate open. The gate can only be opened where? From inside. It's called the gate of change. Once, I had that in front of me for 3 years, because I went, this is hard. I know Susie. Susie and I are best friends. We go out, I mean, I want her to come so bad. I just, but every time I talked to Susie, I could tell her gate was what? Closed. It's okay. If the gate's closed, keep going. I want to ask one question. Just raise your hand. Raise your hand if it took you more than 5 months once you heard about EXP to join. Raise your hand. That's almost everybody, that's at least 2/3 of the room. So the problem is you guys took more than 5 months to join, and then you talk to somebody and you go, I just don't quite understand it. Gene, I told them everything. You know what the problem was? I forgot to smoke my cigar. Okay. Here's the other thing you do a lot, and I hear a lot of it. I'm just going to tell this to you. Everything you've had the last couple of days, the tools are there for you to succeed. The problem is you don't believe in them. I've heard this probably 10 times this week. Gene, you don't understand. Lunch and learns won't work at my time. I just heard it. I hear it every day. All the time. They just don't work here, Gene. Agents don't want to be seen in an environment with other agents. You know what? Nobody watches the webinar. I can't get them to watch the webinar. Can't get them to come to Lunch and Learns. Can't get them to watch the webinar. Can't get them to meet me in person. So guess what? You can't what? Do anything. By the way, you're 100% on that puppy. Okay? Be patient though. I've got people that I've been working on for 3 or 4 years. They're just now coming. Okay? Be patient. Okay, there's a famous study that they did in New York City. True story. This is in the 70s. Anybody from New York in the 70s or 80s? Yeah. Yeah, kind of rough, wasn't it? They did this study where they had a park bench right in Central Park. And there was a man sitting there, and they would have a woman sit next to the man, right? And she had her purse on her lap. And they it was all staged. They would have a burglar come and run and grab the purse. Now, it's in the 70s and 80s. What did the man sitting down next to her do? Nothing. Then they did the study where, same woman, she sits down next to a man. She puts her purse right here. She goes, "Sir, could you watch this for me?" She walks away. He goes, "Yeah, I will." The robber takes the purse and runs, and guess what the gentleman does? Chases him down 100% of the time. Here's the problem with the internet and all the stuff that I see. You guys have forgotten how to ask for help. It's funny when Rob just mentioned a while ago that 30% of his people come from affiliates. Because he talks to his affiliates, he says, "Can you help me? I'm looking for newbies. I'm looking for anybody that's sharp in the business. Guys, just ask for help." Right? Here's the problem. You haven't been taught. I saw this TED Talk. I want you to go watch it. Write it down. How to ask for help and get a yes. I really want you guys to be pros at this. Here's how you ask for help. Number 1, be specific and why. This is really important. If you're going to ask for help, be specific. Tell them, this is what I want. I want really sharp agents that you think are up-and-coming good people. I never ask an affiliate, "Could you give me everybody that hates the business?" Right? Number 2, when you ask people for help, you notice the gal on the bench. She didn't say, "I'll pay you money if you watch my purse." She didn't do a disclaimer like, "You know what, I'm really sorry, sir. I really hate to do this. I really, really hate to do this. I am so sorry. I have to apologize in advance. Could you watch my purse?" I got news for you. You know, I've been traveling around the United States the last 3 years, very heavy. And you guys have seen me all over. Guess who I go to see? Guess why I was there in your town? Every single one of them asked me this way. "Bill Price, Gene, I'll have 300 people in wherever you are, Bill, whatever town you're in, Charlotte." He says, "I'll have 300 people. I would love to have you 6 months from now. Could you show up?" Yes. I've never turned down anybody that asked me the right way. But if you ask me, "You know what, Gene, I hate to ask you. I know you're so busy. I'm really, really sorry. I just want to apologize in advance. By the way, I'll pay your hotel room, I'll pay your flight, and I'll pay everything for you to get there." You blew it. And here's the other thing. Do not ask by emails and texts. You have a 30 times more chance asking me in person, calling me. Okay, guys? and follow up afterwards. I love it. Wilco's in here. I love Wilco. He always, when he gets me on a three-way call, he always updates me afterwards. A day or two later, Gene, thank you so much. You know what? That person joined. I'm the helper. I want to know I helped. Okay, guys? Okay, do you have them? Let's say them today. Say it out loud. Persistence. The key to. Now you can go perform. And really, you know, what's funny is become an expert on all these. Every single business book I've read said the key to everything is great habits. Great health is habits. Everything's habits, right? Great relationship is habits. I guarantee you every day I wake up and I tell Susan one thing, how much I love her. I'm not messing up. Just so you know. In other words, I'm creating a good habit for me, right? In other words, I just tell her. Okay, I'm going to end with this. And what I want you guys to relate to is this. For some reason, you're going to go out of this room after a couple days. Talk to your spousal unit. Talk to a couple people you work with and go, boy, that was a great seminar, but I don't know if I can do it. There's going to be doubt. Okay. I tell this story a lot of times when people have seen me. I tell my Flying Sophia story because Flying Sophia was my very first grandchild. Okay, she's 16 years old now. She's driving. And she was 2 years old at the time. Anybody have 2-year-olds? Raise them, raise them. Who has 2-year-olds? Right? Here's the best thing about 2-year-olds. They don't know you exist. No, I'm just kidding. First of all, they don't wear clothes. Right? They're still in diapers. Most of them are still not potty trained yet, right? And there's certain times in your lives, the reason I've been telling this forever is because Picasso said we are all geniuses, but we have to find the inner child from within. He literally said that. I really believe you all are all geniuses. You know, geniuses are not IQ. There's 7 types of geniuses. Communication. Socrates. Jesus. Communication. Right? I think it's a gift for all of us because I skipped the other 6 geniuses, you know. But if I can communicate this the best, I want to give you the opportunity. Please don't go home and listen to the people that tell you can't tell you. So here's what happened. Sophia comes into our bedroom, 2 years old. She lived with us at that time. My first grandchild. Now, I grew up with 4 brothers. I mean, and a sister. The sister's really a boy. But I grew up with 4 brothers. She's the youngest. She's rough. And my daughter comes in, and we're making the bed, and we got all the things together. And Sophia says, Grandpa, I can fly. Now, you got to understand, my daughter looks at me and goes, I know it's about ready to happen. We used to call her baby with hair. Now here's the exciting thing. I'm throwing her, as you know, this is pretty close to the ceiling fan. You know. I look back at these pictures and go, ooh. So, but what's exciting about it is she lands. Grandpa, I can fly. 3 hours later. I kid you not, that's why we've got good pictures of this. Because what happened was, would you ever tell my 3-year-old Allie she can't be a princess? Would you ever tell a 2-year-old they couldn't fly? Why do you have that negative talk in yourselves? Why? Just so you know, the sky isn't blue. It's the color I want it to be. Just so you know, when I came to EXP 4 years ago, I painted the vision. Rob painted the vision. Scott, Tracy, David Gagnon, Glenn, Jason. I listened to all of them. We painted a vision of what it was going to look like. I envision being here someday, just so you know. Isn't that exciting? So little Sophia, well, guess what she says? Can Grandpa fly? I can still fly. You would never tell any child they couldn't do anything. Ever, ever, ever. You know, we just wouldn't, right? So why are we all of a sudden, you know what, I can't do attraction. I just can't do it. I'm really good at selling homes, but I can't do that. Just learn the skill. It's a different skill. You can learn it. So let's go back over this really quick. I love leaving you guys with this. The fact is, come back up, boys.
Big Papa!
Big Papa talks. You better listen.